have a very interesting topic to speak about, and I'm definitely encouraging you to join in, be a part of the discussion, share your views, because this one should be very interactive and it's going to help people all around the world to understand what is going on and what age we actually living in. Okay, and if you do not understand the era or the age that you're living in, you'll get left behind. And when you get left behind, you will suffer the cons of it. So everything has its positive and its negative, the pro and the con. And in everything that has been done on this planet, some are gonna benefit in a great way, while others would not benefit. For example, if we look at 2020, COVID, there were companies that was making billions by the day, while some people working for meager wages, they were under a lot of pressure to take the inoculation, and many was confused. And it didn't just happen like that. It was a built up that bring us to the place of 2020 to 2022. Now, when it comes to AI is in its infant stage. And because AI is in its infant stage, some people cannot see beyond the infant stage of AI. And so when people lack vision, they will perish. You have to have vision, you have to have insight to understand where artificial intelligence is gonna take us. And just to add some substance to what I'm saying, I'm gonna go all the way back to the Stone Age. Okay? We're gonna go all the way back to the agricultural age. Now, if you was living in the agricultural age, the more lands you had in the agricultural age is more power you had in the agricultural age. When it comes to the age of horse and carriages, the more horses you own and carriages you own, you had more power. You had more financial power. You had more influence. You had all of that. Now, from the horse and carriage age, we come into the automobile age, into the aeroplane age, into the age that they're sending space shuttle into space and so on, into the age where they're setting up satellite all over and so on. Okay? Which brings me to the age of the mind, which is the AI age that we are in right now. Okay? So when you understand what they're doing, they're creating a duplicate of consciousness, which is not conscious and can never become conscious. Because consciousness is the only reality there is. Now, for those people who have any knowledge at all of the stories, mythologies that have been spoken about or written about concerning the Anunnaki gods, the stories that have been told about Yakub, the stories that you're reading in the Bible, the stories that have been shared in many different cultures and the different religions and so on, you will see that it's the same thing. Doesn't matter which angle you take it from. You always see that they're showing you the difference between that which is artificial, that which have been manipulated, that which comes out of a lab. For example, many years ago, I looked at a movie called Splice. If you could grab hold of that movie, I would encourage you to look at it. It's called Splice. Okay, that is if you could get it, because they're removing a lot of movies from off of the internet. For example, movie like Divergent and so on, you can find those movies. You find someone narrating or saying something about the movie, but to get the movie itself, there's no easy access. Movie like Illustrum, it's gonna be hard for you to find movie like that. Movie like They Live, movie like the Truman Show, and all of these things. Okay, all of these other movies and so on, and even speeches like what I am doing here. They start to censor. They start to do censoring. They start to censor certain people. Okay, like for example, anyone with any comment says, "Well, look at my channel and know that I shadow ban." Okay, people who can touch the soul of those who are having this human experience here, because the soul could receive the information, because the information is coming straight from the soul. You see, when we look at artificial intelligence and we look at who is going to benefit and who it might not benefit, because if you're not well informed and if your motive is just money and you put money over your consciousness, your awareness, you miss what I am saying. For example, a person can go right now on the internet and listen to an audiobook, but there's a total difference between listening to an audiobook and holding the actual book in your hand. There's a difference. There's something about the nerves in your body that connects with your electrical and magnetic self, that when you hold that book and you start to read that book, it does something different to you than if you're just listening to an audiobook. All of that is AI automation. Soon, all of the sages, prophets, mystics, philosophers, wise ones that touch this wall in one way or the next, soon you wouldn't know the difference between these people who touch the lives of millions of people around the world in a real way. You wouldn't know the difference between them and a robot. And the people who are using the robot to bring the information of these men. Like for example, they now have Napoleon Hill voice, Neville Goddard voice, Jinko, I can't bring the name right now, okay? But so many different people, Krishnamurti, so many different people, okay, Bob Proctor, okay, and many others, okay, and it's gonna keep increasing it more and more and more, and the people who set up this channel will be rewarded more than the people who are doing like what I am doing here. That is why your motive can't be money, because if your motive is money, okay, you're gonna just follow the crowd. Because for example, when you bring information to the wall and you're getting 3 and 4 views and 10 views and so on, and people could just go on their computer, get an AI voice and so on. And they themselves do not have to use any form of their own intelligence from their soul. Okay? And they're getting hundreds of thousands of views. And they're making X and X amount of money. You gotta be strong. You have to be genuine. You have to be real. To keep doing what you are doing. But the good news I have for you is that the eye. Most people don't realize why it is AI. They think the eye is just intelligence, and they think it's artificial intelligence. Well, there's an intelligence that is in you. That is in the symbol of an eye. When that symbol is activated in you, and don't get tricked. Don't bother with all these people doing all of these videos saying do this and do that, and you thought that you're going to open and this can open. That shit. Don't bother with them. They have no experience at all of it. I am telling you, when that eye open, you basically become the one that is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. Yes. And that is why they're going to slow it down until they basically shut it down completely by distraction. And the distraction have grown to a place whereby robots have become more intelligent than people on this planet. I am telling you, there are many people who are going to turn to listening to a sermon from an AI robot than to go and sit in a so-called church and listen to someone ranting and carrying on and just perspiring. And there's a lot of perspiration and no real inspiration. Because what they did for years, they use religion and teach you about the messenger, but never the message or the messenger. That's why, for example, I'm going to give you a very good example. If you're a young man or a young woman who never know anything about Osho, I have, let's say, any of Osho writing, I have a massive book from Osho at home. And you're in this age where you could tune into Netflix and you see wild country. You have nothing else to use your judgment from, because all you're going to see and all you're going to get is what they show you about the Rajneesh and so on. And you're going to believe that because that is what you know. And then when they have a robot speaking like Osho, and you listen to a robot and you don't even know it's a robot, they could have the robot to say anything, because that's what they're doing. You have to listen quite careful to realize, well, okay, this person didn't say that. No, person never said that. And then you realize this person would have died 50 years ago. How could he be saying what has been said when you're listening to something that they use in their name, they use in their pictures and so on? Like, let me give you an example, right? There's a YouTuber, okay, named Brian Scott. And I think his thing, I forgot his name on his channel. Something, Reality Revolution, something like that, his name, okay? And he was complaining just recently And he did a video talk about stop listening to fake Neville Goddard. But how people gonna know that is fake one they're listening to? And he was just speaking about just one channel, Neville Goddard official, but he wasn't speaking about the other channels. Okay? And when people start to do things like that, don't be shocked when you start to see he start to get a little bit of views, like me and other people. A lot of these people who've been getting a lot of views, when they start to speak out against certain things, they're going to start to get less views. Because I'm saying to you that we reach a place on this planet whereby they're trying to duplicate consciousness from an artificial standpoint, and it can never happen. If you ever look at the movie called The Island, because as I mentioned earlier, they're taking off a lot of the movies, they're removing a lot of the movies so you can get access to them. If you look at a movie called The Island, whereby they was always making a duplicate of a person who have money and he could afford the program and so on. Okay, you could get a replica of someone looking like you, doing everything like you, and so on. And people look at these things and look at these movies and so on and think, oh, that's just, just a movie. No. They always indicate to you what is their agenda. Okay. And so, because AI is at its infancy stage, most people wouldn't realize that at some point in time, the very first nation to develop the most intelligent AI robot, that nation gonna become even more powerful, and it's gonna take also a lot of money. Okay, so there's a race between America, China, and the other nations, right? Now, if you really use your common sense, which is your God sense, you would realize that if I could create a robot that is so intelligent that he could know how to use a gun, that this robot could do things in such a way that I could have a whole army of robots. Because that's what you're going to get to, I will become more powerful. Like for example, America now moving in the Caribbean to strengthen themselves in the race, the AI race. So they want more oil, they want more gas, they want more minerals, they want more everything, okay? And they see a very weak country in the Caribbean. Militarily speaking, I'm talking about a country that's more weak militarily. Okay, because I'm trying to show you how the bully does work and how in every age, those who have the power, okay, they all them act as the bully. Okay? And some men just sit on their little laptops and blow up boats, saying that these people are carrying drugs. Well, if you could just blow up a boat and kill people for carrying drugs, then you're supposed to be able to kill all the drug addicts. If what Trump is doing to the Venezuelan people and the people in Trinidad, they kill some innocent fishermen in Trinidad. They have their families. It's like how Trump and everybody have their families too. If they could just be the judge and the executioner, everything, the witness, everything. They're everything. The prosecutor, everything. Because they're just killing you without any proof. Whereby they could actually surround a boat with their boats and check the boat and prove it's drugs and jail the people. But no, that's not how bullies work. And I'm saying all of this because remember, whoever first reach the stage where they want to take AI, they'll be able to exercise these kind of powers I'm talking about, you know. So you have to understand what I'm saying. And some men just on their little laptop and blow up these boats. AI automation they using. And in order to build more of these AI invention, I'm talking robots, you know. Some people just thinking about, oh, you go on the computer and you answer back a question, like someone tried to attack me to say I use AI tool to answer people on the internet and so on. Because, you know, as I tell you, I know they're watching me, I know they're listening to me. Okay, but I am free. I'm so free that I'm not afraid of death. When you reach a place in life that you're not afraid of death, that's power. That's why every living day of my life I think about death. Why? I think about my mortality. When you think about your mortality, you don't get greedy and you don't sell your soul easily. You don't sell yourself to Hollywood. You don't sell yourself to the entertainment industry. You don't sell yourself to AI invention and all of these things. You would never sell yourself. And when you grow up like me, in a country where you could just take a line and a hook and throw straight out in the sea and catch fish, you don't have to try to drive a Lamborghini. You catch some fish. You go in the woods. There's so much mangoes and so much fruit in the woods, breadfruit. And in my country, you could go anywhere in my country and find a breadfruit tree. And you know, they deceive the entire population of my country and tell them that the first time breadfruit come to this country is a man named Captain Bly, come from Europe and bring breadfruit tree. And they have it up there, right? Not too far from where I'm here, about say 4 minutes walk, right up there. And when tourists comes and all these things, the guides and so on who carrying them around, showing them, oh, that's the first breadfruit tree to the island. And you could go anywhere in the island and find breadfruit tree. Anywhere in the woods and find breadfruit tree. And mango cheese and other cheese. Okay, so when you live like this, and especially when you reach already past the half-century age, and you have had an experience like I would have had with that opening of that eye, and you see men on the internet, even trying the eye, you know they never had the experience. I ain't trying to downplay anybody, but when I saw people like young Pharaoh and Polite, who I think he must be in prison now, giant eye all here and all of that, and they were like big teachers for people in America. Just maybe because they have the same accent and they're hearing them with the same accent. And Nature Boy with all the stuff he used to get on with and so on, and all of these people used to follow them. You know, I never really wanted to come out and shed no kind of, you know, bad light and these men and so on. Okay, but I have to be real, and I have to tell our people, don't be so gullible and so be easily deceived. That's why when you have people like, you have a channel called On Your Leisure and so on and all of that, when they come and try to tell you how much money you could earn from AI and this and that, yes, in the infancy of it. But when AI grow into what they really wanted to become, common sense will teach you, man, that countries will have AI robot army. They will have robot army. They will have robot policemen. Robot will be coming for your ass to handcuff you and lock you up. Sometimes two, three Caucasian police in a black neighborhood. All the men who playing gangsters and so on and who want to kill their own kind. 2, 3 little police and them control long they can't do nothing. They play most gangster. Much as when they send a robot, well armed and well programmed, a man just sit in the office. In short, what am I really saying? Everything is to gain more control over the masses. See, if you think AI and having the access to digital ID, do you know And right now in my country, right, this is election year, so I don't get involved in politics, right? You know, my country is one country accepting digital ID. And you know, people, there are some people who say, oh, more opportunity for me. I could go to this country, I could go to that country. Because why? They thinking money, they thinking survival, they thinking about their belly. But you have to go beyond that. So that's why I'm saying that AI versus the human mind. They're competing for your mind. So just think, for example, right? AI fully implemented and so on. And you have certain books at home. It will help you to remind you. This is not how it has always been. You have certain people's voices. You have pictures. Just the other day I was speaking to people, I say, oh, get some pictures of me. They think is I don't want to worship or anything. No, I know what I'm saying, you know. When I say get picture of Malcolm, get picture of Martin Luther King, different people, Marcus Garvey, different people. It's to what? It's to remind you. Because the coming a generation would know nothing about these things. It would just be AI fully in control. And you wouldn't know the difference between robots and humans. This is what it is going to come to. If you, as I mentioned before, if you ever look at the movie The Island, where they used to just take this sperm of the men and so on and just put it in like test tube or whatever, in an incubator. I mean, like in an incubator, and children are just coming forth without going through this human instrumentality here to a machine. These are the same things that when people talk about the Anunnaki gods and so on, and they talk about Enki and Enlil, the same kind of stories. And if I be honest with you, I've never really get the books and read the books. So if you listen to me and you have any of those books, I have a America post box address. I could send it. I've been asking people to send me some books, different books. I have books already, but books that I don't have, and I want more books. And you check all of these different stories. The story of Yakub, and the story of Enlil and so on, the story of Isis and Osiris and so on. And you always see those who want to achieve certain things from the lab, from genetically modified state of mind. That is why I never believe in hybridization. And people would vex with me when I say that. I never believe in mixing my seed when it comes to like another race and mixing my seed. And I would never believe in that. Because when you take a horse and a donkey and you cross them, you bring a mule, and the mule cannot reproduce. And when you bring a child in this one, the child don't know which side to go on because the child hybrid and he mix. I've never seen anything mix in nature. They try to graft a mango tree with an orange tree, and the orange limb still bringing forth orange and the mango still bringing forth mango. That's why I can't compromise. I have to speak the truth. When you look at those cyborg movies, you're telling me you're not seeing the same thing? You're not seeing we heading towards the same thing with those cyborg movies? When you see those super soldiers, I try to remember the name of that movie. When they had part one, was Michael J. White was in that one. This big wrestler man, this wrestler was in that first one too. And then they continue a series of those movies with these super soldiers. and then they are showing you these cyborgs and so on. That's what we're going to. So yes, things will be happening faster. Your work will be more easier. Your work will be more easier and everything. For now, at the infancy of AI. But when they get to the stage that they really want to get it to, you need less policemen. You need less actual flesh and blood soldiers and policemen and people working in offices and so on. So less and less of your natural intelligence and ability would be needed, would not be needed, sorry. And you're going to create a state of madness. So many people was losing their mind in time of COVID. But in the time of COVID, you know what I was doing? I was meditating more. I was practicing more mindful breathing. I was in nature more. And in that time of COVID, I prospered the most I've ever prospered in my entire life. Because I was tapping in to the intelligence that is within. So most people don't know it's the intelligence that is within that they're after. By giving that intelligence on the outside, you realize that before you could build a robot, it had to first be a thought, it had to first be an idea, it had to first be imagined. And if you read all of these different ancient stories, you all them see, whenever humanity reaches a place, it's humanity versus the machine. Look at all of those, the old Terminator series. Look at the whole Terminator series. Man versus the machine. So everything have a pro and a con. But some people don't want you to highlight the advantages and the disadvantages. Everybody wants a utopia, but nobody don't want to face the dystopia. Everybody wants a calm, but nobody want to embrace a storm. But before you can get a calm, you have to get a storm. If you're looking for utopia, come on, there must be a dystopia before you get a utopia, man. And many must be hurt in the process. You think when they was moving from the agricultural age to the industrial age, many people ain't get hurt? And when you move from the industrial age into another age, you think people is not getting hurt? Many people get hurt. But there have always been messengers to warn you and to tell you what the outcome will be. So, if your motive is just chasing after money, of course, you run after everything that AI could give to you. You run after everything that a digital currency could give to you. You run to go and grab digital ID. You're gonna do all of these things. So, my brother, my sisters, I'm saying to you, you have to think more deeper than the survival mode, or living in the survival mode. And all the religious people who call in and think and some entity on the outside and think some man gonna save you. There's no man gonna come and save you from an AI robot. There's no man gonna come and save you when they have the access to block your bank account. All of these things been displayed on a certain scale in 2020 to 2022. In other words, just, you know, before armies go and they invade places and things, you know, they just do like exercise and thing. You know, 2020, 2022 was an exercise, you know, they was doing like exercise and thing. To see how the compliance of the people, how much people gonna bow. And you know what happened? And people gonna hate you for these kind of truths. You know, it just today I was telling my girl driving coming here, I was saying, you realize that the banks open up to lend people more bigger loans? And everybody in the country, while they are ride and they have one little job, and they're not using the vehicle as a farmer asset, you know. because they park it up all day. Because it's still chapter 295, and then afterwards you leave and then you drive, you go back and so on, and then you death, the rest of life. And not just you, it's a generation, because why? You're only thinking about yourself. So to understand this whole thing about AI, you can't just be thinking about yourself alone. You have to think about how this is going to affect my generation. You have to think about, well, let me get certain books and put these books aside. So when the generation come and it's just AI and robots and all of these things that they're seeing, and they could speak and say, Alexa, do this, Alexa, do that, and so on, and you realize, hey, it wasn't like that. It wasn't always like that. This is how it used to be before. Why you think, for example, our people were so easily and could be so easily enslaved with religion and calling and white Jesus and proclaiming that there's some special, unique, chosen people somewhere in Israel. And you're not saying that you are the chosen and you know you're chosen. Why? The conquerors also write your own history for you. Because they're saying, my God is greater than your God, and they give you their God to serve. And their God is your devil. And so they're giving people an AI God to worship, and people don't know it's an AI God. So while they're watching the Pope, and they're watching this, and they're watching that, and they're talking about Jesus coming soon, you playing the part they want you to play. And then when people say, oh, all these things were spoken about in the Bible, there will be one world currency, there will be this, there will be that. They had you speaking it all the time. They had you acting the part and playing the part all the time. Because they can't do it alone. And so the few rule over the many. And then it's going to turn around. And that which was the many going to become the few. Because look, anybody with common sense would realize, if a country could strengthen itself so much with money, that they could have millions and millions and millions of robots and use AI automation. You know how much power and control that is? So if I know all of that and I have all of that knowledge, and I was Donald Trump, you think I would do? I can pick up a little weakling as in Venezuela, and I can find something to accuse. I can find something to accuse him about, because I have to widen my influence and my power in this AI age. I don't want China beat me. And then I have a use thing like ICE to distract the people. So I send in ICE in Chicago. I send in ICE here. I send in ICE there. But my big plan is Venezuela. I want the oil. I want the whole Caribbean. But I have to have some sort of strategy. So I have to find a woman, like the woman, the opposition woman, who willing to sell out. Can't remember she name. At some Camacho or something, can't remember she name. But I saw a clip with her talking about the amount of investment and the amount of money that they will make. Be the partnership with America, and the woman talking so bold. He say, when we overthrow Maduro, you realize all the coups that happen around the world, America, most of the time they behind it, you know. Yeah, man. Widen the influence and the power, and then they want to take Grenada. Some people grew up and they never know about the invasion of Grenada, you know. Grenada was invaded with Maris Bishop. They say they end up and cut off Maris Bishop head. Bernard Code, all of them end up in just the other day they execute some of them a pardon, you know. Now Trump want to use Grenada International Airport as a base. And then Trinidad, the woman in Trinidad, who they put back there, who was there before, Bissessa, Pamela Passad Bissessa. She said, I stand here with America. America kill the fishermen. Like blood on her hands. So my brother, my sisters, This AI thing is more deeper than what you're thinking. This AI thing that people think, well, oh, I make more money on the internet. I go do this, I go do that, I buy more bitcoins. I go buy more the next coin. I try to remember the next coin. Okay. It's deeper than that. You have to protect your sovereignty, which is basically your divinity, which is your mind I'm speaking about, your consciousness. This is the wadi mind. And people ain't realize that mind age. People say, oh, we live in a digital age. This is a mind age. This is a mind age. You look at the AI robot and all of the wires and all of these things they have up here. So, where do you think they're getting it from? All the connection and everything you have up here. Your brain being a transmitter and a receiver, a frequency. And everything based on energy, vibration, and frequency, and everything vibrates. Me not just talk so, you know. I could look at anything a certain way and see it vibrating. So when you see one, I ain't seeing one. I see two, and I see the one that vibrating. So I know everything vibrate, nothing rests. So I know what I'm speaking about. And I myself does vibrate when I want to manifest certain things. Do you realize that a robot cannot connect his heart to your brain because he doesn't really have a heart? And doesn't really have a brain like what you have? Do you know that the process that have to take place in a woman's womb to give you this and make you the Superman that you're supposed to be? The Spider-Man is supposed to be, the Aquaman is supposed to be. All of these characters represent you and the power that inside of you. And all of that power is symbolized by eye that could open inside of you. And when that open, is like a stargate for intelligence and communication, A robot could never achieve that. A robot could never achieve consciousness. So when I look at those things, I see where it correlate with the story of Yakub. I see where it correlate with the story Enlil and Enki and all of that. And go back to all the different cultures what they taught. So my brother and my sisters, don't just look at money alone, man. Dig deeper than that. If you have a home, start to plant things around your home. Start to learn a little bit of farming. Start to learn to do a little bit of fishing. If you never experienced what it is to cook on wood fire, if you never experienced what it is to have a black pot, you ever see a black pot? A pot that is black? Because it cook on wood fire, I grew up on that. If you do not know what it's like to go in an outside toilet, you call it a latrine, and when you bend over there and you free up yourself, you smell just like everything, eh? You smell like we're releasing. If you never had them kind of experience, it's gonna hard for you. But when people like me who grew up and so on, know I like to walk bare feet and so on, and all the time is connecting and all of that, and don't even know that at the time. When you have them kind of life day, then you spend them kind of life day, it's hard to sell out, man. So I'm not gonna condemn a man who born and grew up like in America and so on, and Hollywood and opportunity and all of these things come to him, and he think, well, this is it, you know what I mean? And he think money real, and money ain't real. Okay. I can't blame him. I can't condemn him. Because he doesn't know better. So basically what I'm saying in short, when AI is fully implemented and robots is in the right place where they want to develop them to with the kind of intelligence they want to reach to with them. That's when people start to realize he who advanced in AI before this could rule this entire planet. You know how powerful it is if I could deploy, instead of Trump deploying so much 4,000 men with families. They have wife, they have children, they have all of that. They deploy over 4,000 robots with machine gun. Man, that's genocide. You know how much power that is? And people not seeing. I remember quite vividly of a man who brainwash people all over the world in Africa, especially Africans and so on. And they say this man is a last day prophet. And I'm telling you right now, the people in Africa will say, oh, but everything this man say, the man say driverless, you have driverless vehicles and so on. Not knowing that man used to go warfare every year. A man named William Branham. Every year. This man was a part of the KKK and the Masons, eh? Every year this man used to go by the warfare. So you always know what will happen after, okay, in terms of science and so on. And when you become more conscious and more aware and become more enlightened, come on. From since I become more conscious, I started to say, yo, they're gonna be flying cars. Cars gonna be flying and everything. You watch movies and so on, you could know. But you have to be more observant. But what they do, they keep you busy, chase after money. And all they do, eat, sleep, shit, and repeat. That's not how life's supposed to be. So, my brother, my sisters, as I come to a close here in terms of the lecture I'm doing here, but I'm going to read the comments and interact a little bit more with you. Okay, but as I come to a close here, I am not speaking against AI because I can't stop AI. I am just warning you that everything has pros and it cons, everything has advantages and disadvantages. And I'm saying to you, it is never in your favor to empower you. It is always to disempower you and favor a very few, a 1%. That's all I'm really saying. So I'm telling you, just take note. Because I know I would leave this planet when the time comes for me to leave this planet. But everything I'm saying, I tell you, they'll have an AI police force. They'll have AI churches, you know. We see all of these pastors and so on with all of this money laundering they're doing and not getting charged and so on and all of that. Because the state and the church system is together and all of that. You understand? Just now, you want to hear TD Jake's voice and not TD Jake's. It's a robot. You hear Kenneth Copeland voice in not Kenneth Copeland, Creford Dollar in not Creford Dollar. So, as I come to a close here, let me just run back over some of the movies that I tell you could look at, like Illustrum, The Island, The Truman Show, the Terminator movies. There's a movie named The Giver also. Okay. I'm trying to remember some of these other movies. They Live, the movie Splice. I remember when I was watching that movie Splice. I told my girl, I say, you see that white man? I can bet you, and I'm gonna say it exactly how I said to her. I said, I'm gonna bet you, he's gonna fuck that I don't even know what was to call it. I forget what I actually call it. Okay. That what seems to be like animal and human mix. I say I can bet you he's gonna do that. I know exactly he did that. Okay, man, thing is too plain. It's too plain for you to really see if you really think. Okay, I mean, people normally say, oh, all of us are one. But I will say this again and again. That sheep and goat don't mate, but they're animals. They don't even have the same diet. And artificial intelligence is just evidence of certain things. Splice, the movie. All of these things, man. There have to be some sort of people in this earth who come from a lab. Yeah, man. I honestly believe so. Una 100%. There have to be people on this planet who want to think they could get eternal residence here. They could live here forever. And religious people, they want a resurrection without a death. They believe one of these days they're going to flip out their body and they're going to rapture and all this foolishness. But they have to be. You know, that's what I'm telling people. You know, if you listen to me and there's a lot of books I build in my library and I want more books. The book on Yakub, book on the Anunnaki and so on. I don't mind keeping those books. I get in those books. The Epic of Gilgamesh, I ain't get a book yet. The Illimalesh, I ain't get a book yet. The certain books I ain't get yet. Because these things are showing evidence that there have been some sort of genetic mutation or some sort of genetic crossing somewhere or the other, man. Because if you look at the plants and so on and the animals, everything is all reproduced after its own kind. So why there's people on this planet just chasing so much of power that they're willing to do all of these kind of things? Something is wrong. Okay, I might have to do a part 2 in this. Okay, but I'm definitely gonna come to a close here and just gonna read the comments and make it a little bit more interactive. Then I'm gonna close. Okay. Okay. Someone here said hi. Someone here, peace to you too. Inferior. Someone said blessing King. Blessing to you too. That's Tina. Blessings to you, Nimrod. Greetings, enlightened souls, seekers, doubters, curious ones. May each one find his or her rightful place. That is my wish also. And thank you, brother Nimrod. Okay. Nimrod, a mighty seeker, a mighty hunter. Someone say, where are you from, brother? I'm from the Caribbean. Actually, I live in the Caribbean island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. One of the first countries in the Caribbean that wants to accept digital ID. But I don't want to get into, too much of political thing, because I'm telling my country, people willing to kill for politicians. Yeah, man. Telling you. There are politicians up here and preachers. Okay. Be sure to like, comment, share this video. Let's try to get this channel even to 25K, even though I'm shadow banned. Okay. But I'm doing this for those of you who normally tune in and who would find value in what I am doing. Okay. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing it for the love of humanity. And that is what motivates me every time. I don't need money to motivate me to do what I am doing. Okay. Someone says, yeah, where are you? Okay, I already answered that. Okay, someone else answer that again for them. Someone say, Ja rule. Ja is your higher self, eh? Someone say to tell them. You can always tell them, but it's if they're gonna take heed of what you're saying. Okay. Someone said they wanna. Okay. I don't know. There's such a place as Saint, nigga. I don't know that. Bonjour. I think that's bonjour. Bonjour is in another language, right? Huh? French. What does it mean again? Hi. Okay. Bonjour. Me hi. Okay. Hi to you too. Bonjour. Okay. Talking about the French. the French and the Americans really destroy Haiti badly. This way, they behind everything that's happening in Haiti. Can't forget what Bill Clinton do with the rice they were growing in Haiti and what he do to the people. And then people want to turn around and talk about God and church and Bible and talk about forgive. Yet these people never forgive my ancestors. Like Toussaint Louverture and these kind of people. All these men who stood up in Haiti and fight for their independence to stand as sovereign people up to this day. And people tell me forget and love and embrace. It's all bullshit. Look what they did to Cuba. The embargo on Cuba, Venezuela. And you see how bully does work? That's why I tell you with this AI thing, is who could be the biggest, baddest bully and who first gonna win the race between them, China, and whoever. Someone say hi there. Greetings from Peru. That's Central America. It's good to have people tuning in from Central America, all the way Peru and so on. Okay. J Queen exercise. Don't the work? I don't quite understand. Okay. But yeah. It is always who gonna be the biggest, baddest bully. And it takes a lot of money to become the biggest, baddest bully. That is why, if you know the story of Alexander the Great, that way we say America say, we think Trump say, make America great again. What do you think Trump mean by that? A big bad bully. Just like how the British used to be big bad bully. They have colonies everywhere. This country is still a colony, and the 27th of this month, police and they will be marching, boom, 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 and saluting and doing this and shine and pelting off gunshots and so on in the park, and people going for the parade. Say they're independent, and they become an independent nation in 1979. And someone like me, when I say they're not independent, they still ruled by British people. I said it sometime recently. One was watching me with a lawyer woman. If you think slavery done, you deceive. If you think horse slave not still around, still selling the people, you deceive. That's why I say, just like how Trump want to use Grenada Airport, and he want to use Antigua and Antigua private. I check down here to see. I want to see what the response will be. Woo! Having fun. Okay, hey bro, you know Mr. Beast. Yeah man, I know Mr. Beast. Okay. Let me ask you something. Say they ask me, I know Mr. Beast. You take out of me and Mr. Beast, so you think more happy? You think Mr. Beast more happier than me? You think Mr. Beast more happier than me? Mr. Beast make millions upon millions from YouTube. Well, they shadow ban me. Who you think more happier? Mr. Beast or me? Man, Mr. Beast could never be more happier than me. Never happen. Free. You know how sweet freedom is? There's no price you could pay for freedom, bro. Someone say, I believe in my rice and jerk chicken. I can guarantee you that person come from Jamaica. When you start to talk about jerk chicken, jerk pork, jerk this, and jerk that, I remember I went to Jamaica in 1997. That time I was still part of the church system. Okay, believe in secular Christianity and so on. And when they had a leader conference, okay, because as I tell you, they want me to make me a big leader, put me up there, so so I went there. I remember quite vividly. I did conflict resolution when I was in Jamaica and all of that. I remember a woman who was there, and she always used to say, "Oh, the Lord says this and the Lord says that, and thus said the Lord." When every day they start to supply us with just jerk chicken and jerk this and jerk that, the woman start to cry, Oh, I'm a diabetic. And I is a diabetic. Because, but if you had enough money, you could take care of yourself and you like a diabetic. And so I remember I stay a family in Jamaica, and the woman, I said, I want to eat ackee and so on. Ackee, your national dish is ackee and saltfish and so on. The woman said, you provide me the money, I provide you the food. Man, I give the woman about 30 US. Oh my God, I started after that. I give the woman 30 US extra. I say, okay, no problem. I gave her 30 US extra. Man, ackee, saltfish, all different kind of ground privilege and sweat in the morning. Then I realized Jamaicans, their biggest meal is in the morning. Man, I eat and I enjoy myself. Okay. So when you hear someone talking about joke, Jamaican, are we there yet? I don't know what they're talking about, but as I was saying, we are in the infancy stage of AI. That's why people not realizing what's coming. Okay. You talk, man. Okay. Hi from South Africa. With you, Neville, but thought the message teaching is more important. There's a lot of things I could say about Neville. People get vexed with me when I say something about Neville. You realize that Neville got a family, have the biggest business is in my country? You realize that? If you go on my channel called Make It Make Sense, and it was to go way back, when it was Abdullah Neville Gaddard, that was the name I had. You see, I do a vlog and show you some of the businesses that the family own. And I went up in the building and I show a picture of Neville father, Joseph. After that, the black access to the building from the public. Let me just wait till the wind cool down a little bit. I want to say the ban access to the building from the public, right? I'm talking about the upstairs where they are the offices and so on and all of that, where their mission statement and everything is, and we never got that far. The picture is. You can't go up there anymore. They have codes and everything and so on. Only certain people could go up there, like the workers. And if you want to get up there, you have to go there. They see you on camera and so on. Thing code, somebody come and deal with it for you to get up there. So I was fortunate to go up there and film before they ever do that. Okay, so I know what I'm saying. So when I tell people that Neville had prior knowledge about these things and the family and so on, and he talking about Abdullah is a makeup thing. You understand? It's because the wisdom and the knowledge is in Ethiopia. I'm still in Ethiopia. Okay? And there's a certain bloodline that runs from Ethiopia right down into the Caribbean. So I could go into a bunch of things, but I'm not going to do that right now. Okay? Someone says Grand Rising all. Someone says here, Salraman 23. Even roses have thorns. Okay. Hence, you are accepted here to flourish. So he was saying, the person is saying that even roses have thorns. So everything have a good side and a bad side. As I was saying, everything have its advantages and disadvantages. So everybody looking at AI and looking at the advantages and not seeing the disadvantages and how much people will be affected, because all they're thinking about is that just themselves alone. But everything that's been done on this planet is to favor the few that rule over the many. And though I could have taken the part of the few and sell my soul for money, I refuse. So whether they want to shadow ban me on YouTube or whatever, I don't care. Someone is a real bad man. Someone say, hey, that Jesus love you. I don't want Jesus, I don't want to love me. I have to love myself. It doesn't matter. Look, even if 1 billion people love you in this world, and you love yourself, you know how much people they love. But I don't want to make Michael Jackson look bad, but Prince or any one of these people. You know how much people love these people? But I'm gonna use a different example. You know how much people they love Martin Lawrence? But Martin Lawrence going to put on a dress. You much people love with this guy named Kevin Hart, where you gotta put on a dress. Think about all the black men that embarrass or insult. I was looking for a different word to use, right? To bring them to a very low place and so on, right? Look at all the men that do that. You know how much people love them? So you talk about Jesus. Who the hell is Jesus? Show me Jesus. And there's something. The people who always talk about Jesus never tell you what Jesus taught. Don't tell me about Jesus. Tell me what he taught. Someone say, God bless you. Same person, someone else say, God bless you. And Jesus love you. Bro, I have to speak blessing over my whole life. There's no God outside of me that could bless me. And there's no Jesus outside of me that could love me. If you believe in Jesus, believe also in me, because I am he. If you believe in God, believe also in me, because I am he. How y'all love yourself? Someone said Jesus will save them. Yeah, let them look for Jesus to come and save them. There's no Jesus or no entity outside itself could save you. If they arm an AI robot for you. We think drones are. You see, everybody just come and just accept all of the drones that they use in Iran against Iran, all the drones they use against the Palestinians, all of these things. You're using drones, okay? And you're telling me the time ain't gonna come whenever you use robots? Man, you better wake up. Everybody talking about the killing of George Floyd and the killing of this and the killing of that and so on. You tell me after a while you ain't gonna use robot? You stop there. Someone say that is why we must learn AI so we could defend ourselves. The only how you could defend yourself against AI is if you are willing to live a very, very, very humble. I want to talk about humble. I'm talking about real humble life where you go back to the earth. Eating from the earth, cooking on wood fire and all of and those kind of things. Because nobody's stopping it. Someone say Jamaica, someone say yo, someone say hi. Someone said you can't even speak English. And they're speaking the truth. You're actually speaking the truth. I can't even speak English because it's not my language. It's not my original language. Our original language was hijacked in. Even the name I have. They give me even the white man name. So you're correct. You're correct. Because English language is not the oldest language. It must be the newest language. So you're correct. So if that person try to use that as an insult, insult and not given. It's only received. So thank you very much for making my day a better day in terms of making me laugh. Laughter is the best medicine. Someone is behind you. Okay? Someone say Universal Soldiers. Okay, that name of the movie. Okay, with all of these cyborgs and so on. Okay, just now with Neuralink, yeah man. That's what they're going to, because look, what people don't realize, when AI fully implement and so on, and then they come with Neuralink and hey joke, the religious people will still be saying, oh, Mark of the Beast, use that. I tell you, that people gonna go deceived to their grave. Someone say, gotta mash it up. You are the living echo of our ancestors, carrying their strength, wisdom, and fire. Walk with pride, build with purpose, and honor the blood that built you. Thank you very much, my brother, for such inspiring statement. And you're definitely speaking the truth. Okay, because, you know, as a boy growing up, when I used to read about people like Toussaint Louverture and people like Kuju, the Maroon leader, that's why I changed my name and call myself Captain Kuju Moses. Okay, and my computer, just as I go on my computer and so on, that first thing to come up. And in one of my books, I think is what Meditate, Eradicate Poverty. You know, I put my name inside of the book there as Captain Kuju Moses, because I always look at those ancestors who fought against slavery, and I'm still fighting against it from a different standpoint. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell people: free your mind and be in control of your mind, because that's the age we're in, the age of the mind where AI is gonna control people's mind. Say hi man from Russia. Greetings. It's a joy and a pleasure to have people tuning in all the way from Russia. Someone says big facts 100%. Okay. I believe they're speaking about when I say that what they want in Venezuela is the oil and the minerals and so on. Okay. They want a change. It's basically a change of government they want. So they blame it on drugs. So, but why America have so much drug addicts? They say America is the greatest country in the world. They say America is the land of opportunity, but I know the land of opportunity is between my two ears. But why you have so much drug addicts? You see? That's why, my brother, my sisters, when you understand money from a metaphysical level, you wouldn't be chasing after money for happiness or anything, any material realm for happiness. You'll be chasing to find yourself, your true self. Someone say, my guru, I'm happy I caught this live. Blessing to you. Blessings to you too. Okay. And they're trying their best to silence this guru by shadow banning me. Come on. You think shadow banning me can work? Even if they take away my channel, it still doesn't move me in any way. I'll become even more creative. I'll think about more creative ways. I live in my best version on this planet. Someone say, you are the original man, divine builder, protector, eternal. Your strength gives order. Your wisdom brings light, peace, power, and righteous guidance. Thank you very much for that comment. It is so true. That is why when you have people like that on the internet, they're going to shadow ban you. Okay? Yet they're going to tell you, oh, transparency. We are here to benefit everyone. And you must do things according to YouTube, whatever standard or whatever rules they put. If I break the rules, then I shouldn't be here. But I haven't broken any rules. I just speak what is on my conscience, or my consciousness, as a divine being having a human experience. And I can't do other. I can't do nothing other than that. I know that's right. They better stop calling on that white Jesus. He can't save nobody. He has never saved anyone. Can never save anyone. Will never save anyone. I am waiting on the day when AI will be fully established, and you start to have robots being policemen and robots being soldiers. I'm just waiting. You understand? I'm just waiting. Do you realize that there was a time? I remember back in the 80s, I think, when I was growing up, there was a war between England and Argentina. They was fighting for some lands they call the Falkland Islands. Wait. How many people listen to me know that Argentina is in Central America? South America. Okay. How many know South America? You have Argentina, you have Brazil, you have Peru, all of them places there, right? Only South America. Wait. How England own land down there? Falkland Islands. Woo! Oh, England. You know England was in a war with Argentina against the Falkland Islands, for the Falkland Islands, I mean. And we had a little boy growing up, everybody talking about who's stronger. I remember as a boy growing up, one time we had a nasty argument down in my village, you know. I was telling my fellow villagers that nobody win a war. You don't have no winner. All of them is losers because war is just destructive and it's just destroying, doesn't matter what. And boy, that was a nasty argument. And all of we used to be friends. It nearly caused a big thing. Man nearly fight and so on. Then later on, a woman, I think from Trinidad, I think her name was singing Sandra, something like that. She sang a song that saying, when you really come to think of it, nobody wins a war and nobody argue. But then when I come to this stage, you know, I realized I've all been forward ahead of most of my peers growing up. Yeah, I realized that. Someone says it in Kenya. Wait, someone says here, in Kenya we are laid to rest. One, Rula Odinga, love, Jamaican music. I'm not a Jamaican, okay? But I live in a country that is close to Jamaica and we speak just like Jamaicans, okay? But let me just use the opportunity to say whether you claim to be a Jamaican, a Vincentian, a Kenyan, a Nigerian, all these are just tags they put on us. You're a spirit, man. You're just having a human experience. Yeah, there's no such a thing as a name of a country and all of that. Them things is foolishness. There's no such a thing as a Monday and Tuesday and the month of January and February and those things are not true. They're not real. They're not real. It's not real. It's just light and darkness. And that's the one cycle, and the one cycle go over and over and over and over. Just one cycle. That's why there's no past. Watch me. There's no past and no future. There's no such a thing as Jesus was or anything like that. It is. Everything is now. It's the eternal now. This is now. Everything is now. You could only say yesterday in the now. You could only say tomorrow in the now. It's always now. They just know. That's why they don't want you to know that. So they give you a passport to tell you, okay, without this you can't go there, go there. But you know, in your mind, telepathically and so on, you could use your mind to travel wherever you want to travel, you know. Yeah. And then you go and you acquire the passport and go there in person and so on. But if you just want to travel there without even going there, you could get a picture, watch your picture, study the picture, and in your imagination, you could put yourself there. If you want to go there in a gym, you could go there in a gym. And you don't need to take a plane, you could fly, go there in a gym. You know much time I went to America in my gym, land down in New York all about, like a Superman. And there's a pose you call the Superman pose, you put your hands so. Man, that same sign you see on the flag with the calling is Star David. Nobody can't fool me, you know. You see Israel carrying that sign there? And when you watch the Superman movie, put your hands so. Hey. Man. That's why they're shutting down your window to enlightenment with AI robot. That's what they're doing, you know, bro. They're shutting down your window. They're making the window more smaller and smaller. Your window for enlightenment. Okay, someone say her name is Maria, yeah. Machado, yeah. She also won. She don't win nothing. That Nobel Peace Prize thing is just a makeup thing. That have to play with people's ego. Man, when they have puppet, yeah. When they have puppet and thing and they could use a puppet and thing, for do something, they give her a noble pre-prayer. What noble, but she's selling out her own people. We noble about that. But if that is noble, boy, if that is noble, it's only puppets that just give that prize day, Nobel Peace Prize. It's only puppets that just give that. Why all you do support West Papua freedom from Muhammad, Indonesia? I don't know what person talking about. Okay, you know, maybe talking about Papua New Guinea and Indonesia and all of those places, then so on and all of that. I don't know. Someone said BMG, AI, the new God created by man, yes, to control humans, and all those sin is believing. Many will still choose not to believe their eyes. They will definitely do that. They choose not to believe. Because you see, they have no vision. Without a vision, people perish. And you see, knowledge is power. And the right kind of knowledge, they're shutting away themselves from the right kind of knowledge. People rather say, oh, I drive a red Lamborghini, instead of saying, I have a such and such a library room. Someone say, Humans is another movie. That's another movie you should look at. There's a movie where some AI robots went down into the jungle. I was killing all the people. I don't even know the name of that movie. But you can still find it. It's on YouTube. If you type in it, you go see it. Okay, when these students went on a trip and so on, and they end up in the jungle and so on. Someone say, where you from? Someone say, hi. Thank you for sharing the wisdom and your light. You're welcome. It's always my pleasure to share the light and the wisdom. Okay? That's why, and I will keep saying it, because I'm having fun out of it. I'm making joke out of it. Doesn't matter how much YouTube shadow ban, I'll be making content. If they decide to take it on my channel, fine. But as long as I'm available and I have the availability and the opportunity, I will make content to make content. So those people who the person who take their hand and push the button or whatever to shadow ban me, you do it to yourself, not to me. Someone say, I love the passion you have for sharing the truth with your people. Thank you very much. Because I come from a place, okay, where there is genuine love. Because it's coming from a soul. Do you realize that AI robots have no soul? Absolutely no soul. Someone say, yeah, Benjamin, good morning, good day, okay. Man say, hi. You look like the singer from Inner Circle. I do not know that singer. The man who sing a la 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 lang, okay. Oh, a la 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 lang, okay. Someone talk about Alexander the Greek. When I say Alexander the Great, okay. Someone say hi. Why monkey not in zoo? Okay. That's someone, any person who do not use their mind, okay, and who do not think for themselves is actually a walking, living monkey. Okay, so when someone will get a name called and I'll read their comment, that should tell you how solid I am. That will tell you how confident I am. I'll take off my glasses too and watch that person straight in the soul. if they still and whether the computer, the cell phone, I take off the glasses just to watch straight to your soul, bro. How does it feel? That you think it's easy when you try to use something towards someone as an insult and he take it as just humor? Yo, when a man wake up from his soul, you know, there's nothing you could do to hurt the man, you know. Not even death could hurt the man, you know. Not even death. Because he can come back. He come back here. He keep reincarnating if he want to. By choice. Some people just keep reincarnating back here, but not by choice. You see why they don't have so much of people like we? You see why they shadow ban people like we? They can't control we for the money. Yes. So, someone say, I love Jamaica and most of the people are good people. Yeah, the people of Jamaica are good people. The people of Haiti is good people. But you know what? We give those people a very hard time and they forget and they forgive. But yet all the religious people, they brainwash you talk about forgive and forget. Forget what? And forgive what? They never forgive you and they will never forgive you. Said I. Praises to the Almighty for mercy and grace on you. Thank you. Okay. But when you say Almighty, you have to know who Almighty you talking about, you know. Because I do not believe in no outside entity. Any power is in me. Any Almighty is in me. Consciousness is the only reality, bro. Don't go against your consciousness. You use your consciousness to call on a God. So your consciousness have to be before God or greater than God, because God can't exist without your consciousness or your awareness. People don't know that, you know. They had to do other things too as well as the dress. Yeah. Those fellas in Hollywood, they went to the dress too. They had to bend over, man. Well, bro, on this planet, if you have a couple $100,000, you know, you could live a real nice life. You want 500 million, 500 million and a billion. For do unless I gonna take it and impact other people's life. Well, give not just give it to them, but use ways that impact in their life. But me don't see that 20 people who say they say Oprah is a billionaire. Oprah really Oprah doing anything? She can't do as she like. Just like I was telling today when I was driving car, I was telling my girl, it doesn't matter who win the election. It's like when you go to school, you have a syllabus and they have the teacher according to the syllabus. It's the same thing, whoever take over, if one lose and another one take over, he just continue all of the projects and so on. He continue like the syllabus. The same thing. Okay, I'm gonna close just now. Let me just read down these rest comments. Say escalated. Emasculated, sorry, yeah. Them emasculate those men. Maybe the word for which you are seeking, yeah. Emasculated, yeah. They emasculate them, okay? Do you know Yahuwah and Yahusha? All people who normally use these names, they will tell you there wasn't no J and this and that. But I'm telling you, the most important thing is you waking up within yourself to find your true essence. You see the eye they have on the US dollar? That is real power. You could talk all the other things you want to talk. You see the eye they have on the US dollar? What you think they say? In God. If I ask people all around the world, do you believe in God? That's a trick question and they wouldn't even know it. Everybody can say, yes, I believe in God. But watch their life. And you know they don't believe in God. Someone say UK, US buying as much AI as they can. They will turn the Jones on people like me. Yeah. They're definitely going to do that. When they're ready, they start to, I tell you, time will come when they will be deploying robots. You think that man will be sending men to war after a certain time? No. The robots. It'll be robots. War of the machines. Let me say it here, because I know my legacy gonna live on. I know my legacy gonna live on. That's why shadow banning and all them kind of thing, they can't stop the legacy. The legacy actually already been built. They will have the war of the machines. Okay. Argentina football seems better than England. So what the teacher, yes, wicked, yeah. Someone says, so God sent Jesus here to die for our sins, but we still need to pray and ask for forgiveness for our sins. Why didn't he just kill the devil and do away with the problem? Dick Gregory, yeah. And the thing is, right, they say we must forgive our enemy, but God can't forgive his enemy. So he's so angry against the enemy, but a place to put the enemy and others with the enemy. It's all foolishness, man. It's all about the mind. Yeah, somebody say weekend, okay, equals spelling. Words are spells, okay? That's why they tell you when you go to church, they say God spell, but no. It's a spell. They have you casting spell on yourself. I once heard you say you love teachers like Miles Monroe. No. You could never say, you hear me say that. I've said that people like Miles Monroe, they knew the truth, but they couldn't say it. And I said many other things, but not people like that. I never follow people like that or anything like that, because I could just listen to you for a minute or two and know that you only using the word Lord and Jesus and God because you don't want to come out and speak the truth, because you want a Christian audience and following. For example, if I wanted to have a Christian audience and following and make a lot of money on the internet, when I started to teach, when I started teaching on the internet, I could have been using words like the Lord and God and Jesus and do all of these things. And so, and people who doesn't know me and are all over the world, you understand, who support religion such as secular Christianity and so on, they would have been supporting me big time. Why you think they have so much Christian influencers on the internet killing it, making millions, but they're telling you Jesus coming soon? It have a man named what, something Allen in name, Allen something Allen Pine name boy. Who does talk about this demon? They can talk about love attraction. If people don't talk about love attraction and demon, they can this and that. The woman who doing virtual and they who say no, they don't find Jesus. I don't think this trick they're using. They're killing it. They're making all of that money. Go check out what I just make. You're gonna laugh. You know, you could go and you could go on people channel. You click on the channel and they show you the estimate per month. You laugh at mine. Making $10 don't mean nothing to me. Making $20 or $30 a month don't make nothing to me. Sometimes, what YouTube pay me, you understand, in 1 month, it can't even bring it over to convert it because it's less than $100. And I still live so happy. Why? I know something that I alone know. That's why they say, you shall know the truth. Only you alone will know it. And the truth shall set you free. Then things sweeter than freedom. Oh. Bro, you don't need much money in this world to take care of yourself, you know. You see, once you don't drink, you don't smoke, and you don't chase hoes. You don't chase the only fine girls and all of them things there. And you don't chase Lamborghini. You are drive Lamborghini. You are, and there's a price for all of those things, bro. And some men, they'll bend over for it. They want to drive Rolls Royce. They want to do this. They want to do that. Man, I realize it doesn't take much money to take good care of yourself. Okay, so so this person get me wrong, okay? I'm not against Miles Monroe and those people, but I know they was hiding a lot of things. I remember in a video I talk about Miles Monroe, the people who contacted Miles Monroe to take his tongue and put them in books and so on and so on and so on, and they make millions and millions and millions. And Miles Monroe himself say the first book sell make $10 million and they give you $4 million and take 6. After that, he started to write book like crazy. And what happened? Born in a plane. And I did a video and talk about it and say it was an accident. Okay? Because, you know, if you know the Bahamas, tourism, it run by tourism, and I went into some stuff and thinking that's why certain places in Cat. Anyway, there's a good reason why Sandals is building another Sandals resort in my country. I mean, going into that right now. Someone say, BlackMadGuru, are you? No, you are as energetic as the spirit in the wind today. She has invigorated your soul. Yeah. As a matter of fact, when I met the man from the Born in Bush that wasn't consumed, the black man, the man with Ethiopian features, I experienced the wind. I experienced all the elements you could think about. Experience all of that. So, you understand? Nobody could take away this happiness I have, bro. Renel Lewis, South Africans are here. Thank you very much for commenting. Hello. Someone called me Chris Gale. Chris Gale, the cricketer. Okay. For those who might not know who is Chris Gale, the cricketer. Okay. He has a lot of records. You know, he was a very good cricketer. As a matter of fact, Jamaica had produced a lot of great cricketers. Courtney Walsh, all of those people. Though he couldn't bat, he was a great bowler and so on. You know, you had cricketers from all over the Caribbean. Okay. Someone says you're the almighty creator. Well, that almighty creator is inside of you, bro. Somebody say, BMG, will you speak more on the ever-present now and existing on this plane and other planes simultaneously? Okay. Maybe I'll do that in another video. Okay. Someone say, may I am a bad man. Humble clad. Okay, so I really want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you for your patience. And I know that sometimes many people get distracted and their attention span is very narrow. Okay, but let me say that I am a man who's always been led by my intuition, and I will always follow my intuition. I don't want to be programmed. I will always just follow my intuition. So if my intuition lead me to go for an hour and a half, I'll go for an hour and a half. If my intuition lead me to go for 2 hours or 3 hours, if I feel the pull from the people and the energy and so on, I follow that. Okay, so let me make that clear. So let me thank you all very much for tuning in. It's really a joy. It's really a pleasure to have all of you who would have tuned in and would have commented. Thank you very much. Peace. Love you all. I'm out.